Are you ready to enter the world of foam teardrop trailers? Yes, you heard it right, foam. Not only is foam an exceptional insulator, it's also more water resistant than plywood, lightweight, and incredibly versatile. And here's my favorite part. People are actually building road-worthy teardrop trailers out of foam for less than $1,500. How's this possible? Join me as we dive into this fascinating build and unravel the techniques behind these budget-friendly masterpieces. Not only are these builds affordable, but they're much faster than traditional builds and only require tools that most of you already have in your garage.
Hi, my name is Tom Macy. I am here with my foamy trailer that I built last year. And one of the challenges I had was trying to get into a camper and get off the ground from tent camping and do it economically. And someone that I work with told me about foamies. I looked into it. It looked like something I could do. And I was able to partner up with a friend of mine, and he actually designed and cut this on a CNC machine. And we assembled the whole body of it. So all of the foam, not the doors or anything, within 10 hours. Here it is, the day of assembling the foamy, heading up to Wisconsin to do it with a friend. It's a really interesting design. It's 1.5 inch foam, the pink foam that you buy at a handy department store like a Home Depot or something. And we glued it together using Great Stuff. And Great Stuff is that spray in a can. It's that expandable foam that you use to fill in holes and things like that in your household. And what we did is we designed it to come together. So it's actually almost like puzzle pieces that have come together. It's still a project, but it's a fun project. It's a great weekend thing to touch up and do little things. Because it's foam, it gives you a lot of access to do really whatever you want.
And then you talked about the construction of the foam coming together. I think before we go any further, let's show them what that looks like.
Sure. When I talk about the construction, I talk about the fact that we made it like puzzle pieces. So when the parts were CNC, they were cut to come together just like this. This is actually a sample piece that we use to also try different adhesives. And this is where we determined that using the foam spray was the strongest. As you could see, it's not bending, it's not wiggling. And here you can kind of see how it kind of came out. So once it came out, all we really had to do was just trim it down and sand it down and get this finish, so it was a nice smooth finish.
The cost on this, that's what impresses me, and we're going to share that. Let's just grab them right off the bat. What's the weight on this? What do you think this comes in weighing at?
So I would say that this weight with the trailer is somewhere around 350 pounds. The foam is foam, so there's almost no weight to the foam. The only thing that has weight to it is the floor, which is 1/2 inch roofing plywood, and that was a 4x8 sheet. We used 2 of those. We used one for the floor, and then we used one to craft the hatch on the back. So this is also made out of plywood. And then we have 2 pieces of 2x4s, and then the rest is foam.
So I think people are picking up how low priced this is. So you're saying 2 pieces of plywood,
Yep.
foam, and a handful of 2x4s.
Got 5 pieces of foam. They're 1.5 inch thick. I've got 2 pieces of 4x8 plywood rated for outdoors and a couple of 2x4s to cut in some framing.
And we're seeing why it weighs nothing.
Right. Yeah, because it's the adhesive probably only took 1 or 2 cans, so it was really inexpensive. It didn't take that much because it expands. So one of the things we had to be careful about was using too much of it. And as you can see in the back, this is that, kind of Corning foam. So, nothing special. And again, 1.5 inch makes it 45 inches on the interior, 48 inches on the exterior. And really the only wood that we have, like this is 2x4, this is 2x4. So some of the framing is 2x4 in the back and also around the fan. And that's really it. The whole front is foam.
And then you have this frame, which is a Harbor Freight.
Yep. So it's a Harbor Freight frame. And I did go out on Amazon and buy a few parts, like the stabilizers I bought, really because this is the heavy end of it. And so we kept tilting back unless I put the stabilizers in. These are, you know, pretty simple rubber latches that I use to latch the hatch down to the rest of the cabin. Amazon for these lights. These are actually LED lights that are sensors. So I've got them turned off right now, but they're solar as well, so I don't have to worry about it. And then I've got a couple of 12-volt lamps in here, one inside the cabin, one on the back, and really that's about it.
In terms of rain, are you noticing this is sloping off pretty well?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, right now I'm still gonna put some struts on here, but it's simple enough just to lower it down. And so it's angled really well. So the water really just runs right off of it.
And let's check out that cabin.
Sure. So the cabin is, so one of the things that I did is the entire foam is actually covered by fiberglass cloth. And then what I did is I squeegeed and painted the fiberglass cloth with an exterior latex paint. I did the same thing on the interior. This is just the original white latex that I used. As you can see, it was designed with the shelf. Here you can see kind of how it comes together where it was put together. So we've got 3 pieces. So it's actually very sturdy. You've got it on the bottom as well. And again, because it's foam, you could even see some of the indentations from manufacturing. And then I put a cork on the top. Again, rushed through it, but that's just a cork sheet that I used some spray glue on. I've got a Harbor Freight mat on the bottom for some insulation and make it a little bit softer. And then a fantastic fan, which it's not automatic, but it does have a thermostat, so it will turn on and off depending on the temperature that you set it at.
So the last couple of nights, those of us sleeping with uninsulated trailers, we've been kind of miserable. We've had to take off the edge with buddy heaters, and we're all in our sleeping bags. Yep. With this foam, like, what were you experiencing?
So I had the same concern that everyone experienced. I've got an insulated air pad here that I use for tent camping. I brought a 40-degree sleeping bag in expectation of being cold, but actually I was totally fine with just this thin, like sweatshirt type material. So this is all I had on me, and I was probably the most comfortable I've ever been. I mean, the temperature was absolutely perfect. You know, insulated, it worked. You know, the floor is insulated. I mean, it's all insulation. So it really worked well, and I had no heater on, nothing. It was just this.
I love it. And the other question I'm thinking in the back of my head, you talked about using fiberglass over this foam. Right. What's the difference between your finish here and like traditional poor man's fiberglass, PMF?
Yeah, so what I did was we did use fiberglass cloth versus the poor man's fiberglass, which is typically a drop cloth, a painter's drop cloth. So it's a 10-ounce cotton versus a fiberglass cloth. We just felt that it was going to be a little bit better from an adhesion standpoint, as well as the fact that, you know, it gave it some structure on top of it. Typically, poor man's cloth uses a wood glue to make it solid. And when I worked on that, I tried wood glue with the fiberglass, and it actually came off. It didn't adhere as well as what I used for, which was exterior latex. I did mix in a little wood glue. I thought it might make a difference. I don't know that it did, but the exterior latex mixed with the fiberglass cloth really gave it a nice texture to it, as well as I think it's going to give it some rigidity and a little bit of security from rocks or things hitting it.
And I'm seeing everywhere on the trailer, it laid up really well.
Yep.
And just that front portion,
yeah,
had some bubbles. And so what are you thinking happened in the front portion?
So I'm thinking 2 things could have happened. One, when it didn't adhere because I didn't use enough of the latex, or possibly because it's always in the front, it's getting all the temperature and the driving in the road, that maybe it somehow loosened it off of the. So that's something I'm going to be working on over the winter, is taking a second look at it, peeling it away, and seeing what I need to do. I maybe should have painted it first and then put the fiberglass cloth on, and then painted it again and made sure it was really nice and well soaked, so it had something to adhere to other than just the the foam.
And it sounds like I'm picking on him. I'm not here at all. Like, look at this finish. It's perfect. And so that's what's interesting. Like his whole trailer, like you said, you can see where the foam is.
Right, yeah, I mean, this is just how it came.
It turned out great on the roof, everywhere, just that front spot. So if anybody has any advice for us, leave it in the comment section. Let us know if you've ran into this same issue, because really the whole trailer took well, just for some reason that one section.
Right, and the beauty of it is it's painted, so it was a different color 3 weeks ago, and I decided to match it to my Jeep. I got a new vehicle, and so it was simple enough just to paint it again. So within 15 minutes, I had a new color.
You got a whole new trailer almost, look at that. So I think we have a foamy or two here at this campsite. So I'm gonna try to find another one today to show you guys another variation on this. Because, so if you look at this foam here of Tom's, he has these hard edges, and that's by choice. So you could have shaved.
I could have shaved it down. I could have made it nice and rounded. I chose to just, I didn't want to take too much of the foam off. I just felt better leaving it the way it was.
Yeah, so it's neat because it gives you, like, I like these hard lines.
Right.
I find them kind of macho, kind of geometric, and my wife goes, no way, give me the rounded.
Right.
That's kind of the beauty of this. You can go either way.
Yep.
When I saw it pull in last night, it just looked tough.
I get a lot of looks and I get a lot of visitors.
We just almost forgot the biggest thing, price. So
Yes.
what did this come in at for you?
So I would say this came in with everything, probably $1,200 to $1,500. And honestly, the most expensive parts were the doors and the fan. The trailer was about $350. I think it was $25 a sheet for the foam. And then wood was probably $40 a sheet. So by the time you put it all together, it was probably maybe $1,200, maybe more towards the $1,200 side.
Yeah, what does that tell you about these doors? How much were those doors?
The doors and the fan came in at about $700. So I was shocked because I thought they're just doors, but they're really nice doors. You got double locks, they're insulated, they're thick, they're aluminum, they open and, you can open them up and they lock into place. They got the screen built in. So I guess they're worth every penny. Believe me, if you don't get water in it, it's worth every penny.
If you're interested in building your own foamy teardrop trailer, I've included links in the description to a number of resources on the internet to get you started. On the left-hand side of the screen is a video about the benefits of building your own home-built teardrop trailer. And then on the right here is a walkthrough of a traditional square drop off-road home-built trailer that Brigham built in 28 days for under $2,000. And for those of you who already own a small camper trailer, stay safe on the road, and we'll see you in the next episode.
There you have the Tom Macy Foamy.
Tom Macy, we appreciate it.
Drew, great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks.